Hello, I'm Colton Stratton, and the myth that I've been assigned to talk about this week is about the insanity defense in our criminal justice system. Specifically, this myth is a very widespread belief in our country that the insanity defense is being used at a very high rate. The textbook references a study that found that the average person thinks that 37% of felony cases utilize the insanity defense, and that 44% of defendants are successfully acquitted using the insanity defense. I think one of the main reasons that people have chosen to believe this myth is because of a couple very famous cases that got a lot of news attention. The textbook talks about the John Hinckley, who was the attempted assassin of Ronald Reagan, as well as Jeffrey Dahmer, as being two very high-profile cases that utilized the insanity defense and were successful in doing so. In a lot of ways, this has shaped how a lot of people view the insanity defense. Additionally, as a society, I think that not really understanding or prioritizing mental health has led to a lot of this misunderstanding. So I talked to my roommate and asked him both of the questions that were brought up in the reference study from the textbook. Similarly, he thought that around 40% of felony cases utilized the insanity defense, and he guessed that probably 60 to 70% of these attempts were successful. So similar to the trend that we see with this myth, he overestimated how much the insanity defense is truly utilized. So in actuality, the idea of a large number of felony cases utilizing the insanity defense is actually false. According to some research into our criminal justice system, in actuality, less than 1% of criminal cases utilize the insanity defense, and even when it is used, it is only successful around 25% of the time. Additionally, I found an article from the International Journal of Law in Psychiatry, and it was published in 2007. And this article talks about a lot of different factors that went into how people felt about the insanity defense. This was during a time when a lot of politicians were looking to maybe change insanity defense laws in their states or maybe federally as well. The researchers found that the two leading factors for someone wanting to get rid of the insanity defense was that they were either largely supportive of the death penalty, or that they believed that that insanity defense is used in a majority of criminal defenses, or that it's being overutilized. So to show that these numbers don't really line up with what people believe is pretty important, because I think it's pretty damaging to potentially take away a part of our criminal justice system that is meant to protect people who have a mental illness. Currently, Utah is one of the 4 states that does not have the insanity defense. They have something that's called the guilty but mentally ill, which means the mental illness cannot be a factor when considering whether someone is guilty or innocent, but it can be factored into the decision about their sentencing.